What's going on, y'all? Camping Dan here. Today, I'm gonna take y'all for a little tour of the Yahama VX Cruiser HO jet ski right here behind me. I'm gonna show y'all some of the accessories I keep with it, and also some of the things I love and hate about it. So y'all stick around. So one of the things right off the bat that I love about the ski is it's huge. This thing is a monster. 3-person. It's got the 1.8 liter engine underneath the seat. We'll get into a little more detail on that. It's got this Nano XL hull right here. This thing is pretty stable. It's wide, it's long. I think by the specs is like 9 or 10 feet long, something like that. It's long, it's stable. Like, you can stand on the side of it while it's in the water and it will not flip. Like, this thing is a trooper, and we've taken it through some pretty choppy water and it's done pretty well. Don't have a lot of other jet skis to compare it to, but for long distance riding, it does fantastic. As far as the engine, it's got the Yamaha high output 1.8 liter engine. I think by the books, this thing's like 180 horsepower, naturally aspirated. If you look down in here, it gives you a decent amount of room to work on this thing. It's not crammed in there. It doesn't have that bar that runs straight across like some of the other jet ski models. And I love how much room there is to work on this thing. Also, another perk, that's a, I believe 18-gallon fuel tank up there. So it's got plenty of fuel to keep you going all day with minimal stops to refill. That is a fantastic feature about the ski right there. This thing ain't no party barge now, but it does give you quite a bit of room for storage underneath this front hatch. Also has a little watertight in the back with the rubber I need to replace. And then you got this little compartment up here that holds some stuff. Not going to go into too much detail because I got a lot of accessories in those. But for a jet ski, this thing does have a good bit of room for storage. Now, as far as some of the accessories, y'all always carry plenty of extra rope, lines, ski handles, things like that. You never know when you're going to need them. If you're pulling a skier, pulling a tube, or even pulling another boat back into the dock because they broke down, you can never have enough ropes, or even ropes for tying off your bumpers or tying off the ski to the dock. You always need a bag full of different ropes. Now, one of my absolute favorite accessories is this little quick connect right here. I think it's from Airheads, but I'm sure other companies have it. You just slide the rope through the bottom and then around the sides, give it a tug, and it's locked in there. There's no spinning now or pulling 70 feet of rope around that little loop right there. So that is a great thing to have right there. Definitely consider getting one of those. And I leave this thing on here all the time. I never take that off my ski. It stays there, the cover goes right over top of it, and it just hangs out. It's never gotten in my way. I can hang coolers and do other things, and it's just there. Now, up in this front hatch right here, move that bag out of the way. Everything, I just pulled it out from in there. As you can see, there's not much. I think there's a whistle and some trash. Everything in there, all of this fits inside that little compartment. But these are definitely the must-haves for owning a jet ski. You gotta have a pair of riding goggles. These are the Oakley ones. They're polarized. They're not shaded though. So do know that if you're gonna ride a long period of time with these in bright sun, they're not the best, but they definitely 100% are so much better than riding without them to keep the salt water from getting in your eyes when you're riding out in the ocean. Because these skis are a very wet ride. A lot of water splashes up from that bow and gets right into your face. The second, especially with Melissa, but you gotta keep some extra SPF 50 on the ski, because you never know when you're gonna be out there in the middle of the water and you realize you can't find your sunscreen. So I always keep extras. I probably got 2 or 3, 4 more up in the front bow compartment somewhere. Another thing, extra lanyard. You have to have an extra one of these with you, because if you lose it and you're out in the water, you're done. You are not getting home without an extra one. You can try to hold the switch up with your finger, but it's not going to work that well. And the last but not least, the flush out for the hose. I always keep these with my jet ski because when I'm out camping in the camping van and I'm at a campground, I need to be able to flush the ski out. So I keep one of those on the ski at all times. That way I can flush the ski out no matter where I'm at, as long as I have running water. Just like that, it all fits in that front compartment. Alright, so up here in the bow storage compartment, some things that I keep with me. Got some mesh bags. Use these for either scalloping or trash pickup. They're always great to have. You should definitely keep at least one or two with you at all times. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3 more sunscreens right there. Because again, Melissa's very pale, and you got to keep a lot of sunscreen for her so she doesn't burn. Oh, there you go. I knew there was another one in there. There's the fourth. One thing also, you can't see it down in there. There's my registration. All my legal paperwork stays inside that Ziploc bag way up in the bow. Keeps it safe. But the fire extinguisher, definitely keep, that one actually looks terrible. I probably should replace that. But keep a valid fire extinguisher with you at all times. One, because it's a law. It's got an enclosed fuel tank up here in the front. But two, you never know when you're going to need one. So just always keep the fire extinguisher with you. Another thing that I like, keep a pair of goggles for snorkeling. In case you ever get something up inside the grate, underneath the intake grate where the water goes in, you always need some goggles there. So you'll be able to see if you're in clear enough water to be able to clear out that intake grate. Another thing, this anchor. This anchor is monster. It is huge. It is way overkill for what I do for this jet ski. But you got to think, if you're running 2 or 3, 4 of them tied up together, that anchor works perfectly because it's big enough to hold a monster boat. So you should be able to hold quite a few jet skis off of that anchor. But not always do I use that anchor. Sometimes, actually a lot of times, I just use this anchor right here. And this anchor right here is awesome because with the spin of this little piece here, and then give it a little shake, and then bam. And this thing works in all kinds of conditions. It works in sand, it works in rock, mud. This anchor holds pretty good. And honestly, that's my primary anchor that I use most of the time. It's not the best. It's not as good as that spade-shaped one right there, but it does work pretty good. And it's easy to use. That's why I kind of always use it as my primary. And then when waters are really rough or there's a lot of us tied together, then I'll use the big one and use this as a rear anchor. But with that big one, I got to use some of the rope from that bag down there. But yeah, that's what I keep up in the bow. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know, what are some of your favorite accessories for your jet ski? What are some of the must-haves, something you keep with your jet ski at all times? And again, thank you guys for watching. Leave me a comment, and I'll see y'all in the next video.